Dodgers fans, buckle up because this offseason might just get wild in Los Angeles. There's a storm brewing inside the front office, and it feels like Andrew Friedman and his crew are cooking something big again. Reports are flying in from across the league, and the message is clear. The Dodgers are not planning to hold back this winter. The front office knows that with the new collective bargaining agreement on the horizon in 2027, this could be the last chance to spend freely before new financial restrictions kick in. Whether that means a potential salary cap or harsher penalties on luxury tax spending, nobody's quite sure. But one thing is certain. Los Angeles is ready to take full advantage while it still can. The Dodgers have already cleared an enormous amount of space, freeing up close to $87 million after several key departures this offseason. Legends like Clayton Kershaw and veterans such as Chris Taylor, Michael Conforto, and Kirby Yates are all off the books now. That opens up a ton of room to maneuver, and insiders are hinting that this team could be one of the most aggressive in Major League Baseball when it comes to free agency this winter. This isn't just about filling holes. This is about stacking up for another deep postseason run, maybe even that elusive three-peat. Now, if you know anything about how Friedman operates, you know he doesn't make moves just to make headlines. Every signing, every trade, every little financial tweak has a purpose. And the whispers coming out of Los Angeles suggest that the Dodgers are prepared to go big, maybe even historic, in the coming weeks. According to several league insiders, including veteran analysts, the Dodgers are seen as the team to watch, the one that could throw the market completely off balance. They're not shy about spending when they see value, and with the uncertainty of future financial restrictions, there's even more motivation to make a splash now. One of the biggest names being tossed around is Kyle Tucker. The talented outfielder had an injury setback last season, but when healthy, he's one of the most complete players in baseball. He's young, versatile, and exactly the kind of player who fits the Dodgers' long-term vision. Someone who can contribute immediately while being locked into a major contract for years to come. If Tucker joins Los Angeles, the ripple effect across the lineup would be massive. You'd probably see Teoscar Hernandez shifting to left field, leaving Tucker to take over his natural position in right. That alone could change the entire dynamic of the Dodgers outfield. But Kyle Tucker isn't the only name on their radar. Trent Grisham has also entered the conversation, and his inclusion in the rumor mill caught a lot of people's attention. His numbers over the past 2 years have quietly been trending upward, especially in the power department. He's hitting more home runs than ever before, 34 this past season, while driving in 74 runs and maintaining a solid on-base percentage around .350. Sure, he strikes out quite a bit, but in today's game that's not exactly rare, especially among power hitters. What makes Grisham such an intriguing option is his defensive flexibility. He can play anywhere across the outfield, and his glove has proven reliable, even in high-pressure situations. The Dodgers have seen plenty of him over the years from his time with San Diego, and that familiarity might give them confidence that he can handle the bright lights of Los Angeles. His potential contract would also be far less demanding than someone like Kyle Tucker, which could give the Dodgers some breathing room to strengthen other areas of the roster. Still, if this truly is the Dodgers' last hurrah before potential financial limitations arrive, some believe Friedman won't waste the opportunity on short-term deals. If you can lock in a young superstar now and have him grandfathered into the next agreement, it's a strategic move that could pay dividends for years. That's why names like Tucker continue to dominate the discussion. Another area the Dodgers are expected to address is the bullpen. It's no secret that Los Angeles has had moments of inconsistency out of the pen, and with the postseason always exposing even the smallest cracks, adding a reliable closer is high on the priority list. Edwin Diaz, one of the most electric relievers in baseball, has been floated as a possible target. Despite a few uneven stretches in recent seasons, his numbers still jump off the page. A 1.63 earned run average, a whip under 0.9, and elite control in high leverage moments. He's the kind of presence who can stabilize the back end of games, and for a team built around deep playoff runs, that kind of consistency can make all the difference. When you take a closer look at the roster as it stands, there's a clear sense that the Dodgers are in transition, but not in decline. Yes, some veteran pieces have moved on, but the core of this team is still loaded with star power. The lineup remains one of the most dangerous in baseball, and the farm system continues to produce young talent ready to contribute. That's why this offseason feels different. This isn't about rebuilding or patching things up. It's about fine-tuning a championship-caliber squad for another serious title push. Teoscar Hernandez's performance last season does raise some questions, though. His batting average dipped to .247 after hitting .272 the year before, with his home run and RBI numbers also sliding. The defensive metrics weren't kind either, as his range and reaction times in right field appear to decline. Still, his bat remains potent enough to warrant an everyday role, and his ability to shift positions gives the Dodgers options depending on who else they bring in. The key for Hernandez next year will be rediscovering his consistency at the plate while tightening up his defense to avoid costly mistakes in big moments. The Dodgers' decision-making this offseason will likely come down to a balance between immediate impact and long-term sustainability. Do they go after the blockbuster name like Tucker or Diaz, spending big and sending a message to the rest of the league? Or do they look for smart, strategic additions like Grisham, who can fill specific needs without breaking the bank? With so much financial flexibility and the looming uncertainty of future league rules, it's entirely possible they do both, signing a star while adding valuable depth pieces to reinforce their already strong foundation. No matter which direction they take, one thing is clear. The Dodgers aren't approaching this offseason timidly. The mindset seems to be go all in right now, and it's hard to argue with that. They've built a culture where winning is not only expected, but demanded. That kind of pressure fuels big decisions, and when you mix that with financial freedom and elite leadership in the front office, the results can be explosive. Fans can expect the Dodgers to make headlines soon, not for rumors or speculation, but for the kind of moves that shift the balance of power across the league. The whispers from inside the organization sound like a team hungry to make history again. After years of dominance and regular postseason appearances, Los Angeles doesn't want to just compete. They want to control the narrative. They know other teams are coming for them, the Braves, the Phillies, even the Astros. But there's a confidence in this front office that feels unshakable. When the Dodgers have both money and motivation, that's when the rest of Major League Baseball starts to get nervous. So, as free agency unfolds, keep an eye on Los Angeles. The big deals might not happen overnight. Baseball's offseason tends to stretch out, but the groundwork is clearly being laid. Whether it's a megastar like Kyle Tucker, a dynamic reliever like Edwin Diaz, or an under-the-radar addition like Trent Grisham, every move the Dodgers make this winter feels like part of a bigger plan. The question isn't whether they'll spend, but how far they'll go to secure another championship run for the City of Angels. What makes this Dodgers offseason so fascinating is that it feels like a turning point, not just for the franchise, but for the entire league. The Dodgers have been the standard for nearly a decade, the organization that other teams model themselves after, blending smart analytics with deep pockets and an unshakable belief that talent wins championships. And now, with the possibility of tighter financial restrictions coming in a few years, this winter could mark the last time we see Los Angeles spend with complete freedom. That urgency adds an extra layer of intensity to every rumor and report. People around the league know that when Andrew Friedman starts moving pieces, it's not by accident. The Dodgers front office doesn't leak information unless there's intent behind it. So when multiple insiders start naming players like Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, and Trent Grisham in connection with Los Angeles, it's safe to assume the discussions are real. The Dodgers are not just exploring options. They're plotting a strategy to dominate both now and later. The philosophy behind their spending has always been calculated aggression. They don't throw money blindly. They target players who fit their culture and can elevate the roster's balance. Take Kyle Tucker, for example. Beyond his numbers, he represents a long-term cornerstone, a player in his prime who brings a mix of defense, power, and contact hitting. For a lineup already stacked with star hitters, Tucker's consistency could be the difference between another playoff exit and another World Series parade down Vin Scully Avenue. Then there's the bullpen issue, something the Dodgers can't afford to ignore again. The past few seasons have shown how fragile a championship run can be without a lockdown closer. Edwin Diaz fits that need almost perfectly. He's explosive on the mound. He brings postseason experience, and his ability to handle the spotlight makes him a natural fit for Los Angeles. You can already imagine the crowd roaring at Dodger Stadium as Diaz comes in to close a playoff game under the lights. But what's interesting about Friedman's approach is that he rarely settles for one major move. The Dodgers like to layer their upgrades, a superstar here, a strategic depth piece there, and suddenly the roster looks unstoppable. Trent Grisham could be that second-tier addition who quietly transforms the team's versatility. He's not a headline grabber like Tucker, but his left-handed bat, power surge, and defensive flexibility could allow the Dodgers to mix and match lineups throughout the season without sacrificing production. And given how much the team values roster adaptability, Grisham's name might end up being more significant than fans initially expect. Still, the biggest storyline isn't just about who the Dodgers might sign. It's about the statement those signings would send. Spending big in an offseason like this isn't only about talent acquisition. It's about intimidation. It's about reminding the rest of Major League Baseball that Los Angeles remains the powerhouse, the team that dictates the pace. When other franchises are calculating how to stay under the tax threshold, the Dodgers are asking how much more they can push the limit. That's what separates them. They're playing chess while others are still setting up the board. Of course, not everything is guaranteed. The free agent market can shift quickly, and sometimes teams have to pivot when negotiations stall or prices soar. But this front office has built its reputation on adaptability. If one target becomes too expensive, they have 2 or 3 backup plans ready. And with the amount of payroll flexibility they have right now, those plans could be just as impactful. One area where we might see even more movement is the starting rotation. Losing veterans always leaves gaps, and while the Dodgers have promising young arms in the system, there's still a need for experience. Someone who can take pressure off the younger pitchers, eat innings, and anchor the rotation alongside Walker Buehler. Names haven't surfaced yet, but knowing Friedman, those conversations are already happening quietly behind the scenes. The Dodgers love to surprise people with unexpected signings, and that could very well happen again this year. Teoscar Hernandez's situation adds another wrinkle. His drop in both offense and defense last season has sparked debate about whether Los Angeles might look for another corner outfielder or simply trust him to bounce back. The Dodgers typically give their veterans the chance to prove themselves, especially after a down year, but with the amount of pressure surrounding this season, patience might be limited. If Hernandez doesn't show improvement early, a move for another outfielder midseason could be on the table. The fans, of course, are restless in the best possible way. When you've built a culture of constant success, expectations naturally skyrocket. For Los Angeles supporters, another division title isn't enough. It's all about championships. And that pressure, rather than breaking the organization, fuels it. Players know that when they put on a Dodgers uniform, they're stepping into a legacy of excellence. That's why so many stars are drawn to play here. It's not just the money or the market. It's the chance to be part of something that matters every single season. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Shockwaves are rippling through the baseball world as Shohei Ohtani, the two-way phenom who has dazzled fans with his pitching and power hitting, stunned the sports community with an unexpected announcement. He is leaving the Los Angeles Dodgers. In a press conference that immediately went viral, Ohtani confirmed what many insiders had only whispered about. His time with the Dodgers is coming to an end. The news has ignited a frenzy of speculation, with every major league front office reportedly scrambling to gauge interest in acquiring the superstar. Ohtani, whose unique combination of pitching dominance and offensive prowess has made him a once-in-a-generation talent, seemed both resolute and reflective as he addressed the gathered media. While he did not disclose his next destination, his comments hinted at a desire for a new challenge, possibly one that could balance his personal ambitions with his extraordinary career trajectory. "I've loved my time here," Ohtani said, but sometimes growth means stepping into the unknown. The phrasing, casual yet deliberate, has only fueled rumors of a potential blockbuster move, leaving fans and analysts alike to theorize about which teams might have the resources and the appetite to chase a player of his caliber. The Dodgers, who have built a formidable roster around him, are reportedly bracing for intense negotiations. Sources close to the organization suggest that while the team is reluctant to see him go, there may be strategic considerations at play, from payroll flexibility to long-term roster planning. Meanwhile, the rumor mill is spinning at full speed. Some speculate a return to the West Coast could be on the table, while others hint at a historic East Coast signing that could redefine the competitive landscape. Even international leagues are reportedly monitoring the situation, although a move away from Major League Baseball seems unlikely at this stage. Social media exploded within minutes of the announcement. Hashtags featuring Ohtani's name surged across platforms, and fans flooded forums with predictions ranging from surprise trades to free agent stunners. Analysts have already begun drafting potential fits for his talents, weighing everything from team dynamics to ballpark dimensions. The consensus, however, is clear. Wherever Shohei Ohtani lands next, the ripple effects will be monumental. One thing is certain. The baseball universe is holding its breath, waiting to see which franchise will next write its history alongside a player who has become synonymous with excitement, unpredictability, and sheer talent. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.